right, guys, I got some scoop for you. So, a week or so ago, and I really need to thank you guys, but I was trying to find Dan Hooker. And I usually communicate with Hooker through DM on Twitter. Between our last conversation and the new download of the new application, I don't know the Twitter rules, but all of a sudden I can't find him. I can't find him until he finds me first. When he finds me first and he can set up the dialogue, then I can respond. So I told you guys that, hey man, I got some questions for Dan Hooker. You guys got that video to Hooker. Hooker watched it and he responded. My question was simple. Dan Hooker just had a fight. That was in Las Vegas. That could be great news because Hooker had a very hard time of getting out of New Zealand. He has a hard time getting back home. He has a hard time getting over here once he goes home. And all of the city kickboxing guys, Adesanya, Volkanovski, Hooker, their coach Eugene Berriman, have said, we're looking to leave New Zealand. We're looking for commercial space right now in America so that we can train and make it through these rough spots that have no end in sight. Okay, fair enough. But they're also letting us know that the training situation is not ideal, which if you look at the beautiful performance by Adesanya over Vettori, if you look at the epic performance of Volkanovski over Ortega, and you look at defying the odds, Dan Hooker even making weight defied the odds. Not to mention that great fight, he won all 3 rounds, and he did it with wrestling, a skill that he's never used. I mean, Hooker was showing us improvements. We're seeing improvements from a guy who is openly telling us his training's not ideal. So what I want to know after he took this fight, okay, with Islam, is, are you staying in America? And if so, do you have a place to prepare? Because if Dan Hooker can win 15 straight minutes like he did 2 weeks ago, with poor sleep, poor weight cutting opportunities and management, poor training, just how far can this son of a bitch go? It's very interesting. Not to mention, you're not going to get good wrestling in New Zealand. They got some damn good fighters. They don't have wrestling. They don't even contest at the World Championship or the Olympic Games. In freestyle, Greco-Roman, or women's, they don't. When I tell you they don't have wrestling in New Zealand, this is a literal statement. I'm not saying they have it and then I'm putting them down and say, yeah, but they're not very good at it. They don't have it. England, by example, doesn't have it. It's one of the reasons why Michael Bisping got in the Hall of Fame in record time. He's a guy from a country that doesn't even have all of the attributes, and he found a way to be the best on the planet. But it's also relevant because Dan Hooker, and I realize this fight's short, and I'm not quite looking to get into the X's and O's of Hooker versus Islam. But it is relevant if he can get some good American wrestling training in. Can we agree? Wouldn't it be a bad thing? Hooker saw the video. You guys got it to him. Hooker sent me a message, and he answered it. He said, I am staying here. I have a wrestling coach. I'm doing all of my training at the PI. And the PI isn't only a great facility with great coaches and great workout partners. It has an incredible recovery and nutrition system. If you are a UFC athlete, you can go into the kitchen and you will have a special meal prepared for you. I've been there when the athletes have picked it up. It will have a sheet. Your food will be wrapped. It is ready for you, but it will have a sheet on top telling you all of the nutrients, all of the vitamins, the protein count, the carbohydrate count, and ultimately the calories. Okay, you could not be in a finer athletic facility. So if Dan Hooker has made it this far in a bad situation by his own admittance, can we at least agree that he will be more prepared, and it does make things more interesting as he's getting ready for Islam?